higher, you start getting like the 150 to 300 kilometers of the earthquakes. So it seems like probably like up there is pretty deep. And then I guess if you keep going, and you start heading towards Japan, you start getting in those purple, which is 300 to 500 kilometer range. It gets really deep in there.
So how would you want to word that? Oops, what am I? Hold on. How should we word that?
Just like with the first, starting with Guam, the earthquakes are only about 30 kilometers, but then as we move more north, the earthquakes become deeper in depth.
So why do you think that? Why do you think that is? Could it be because if you look towards Guam, I mean, just based off of the picture here, it looks like that is, obviously that's a mountain or something. That's like an island, and then there's a mountainous area under the ocean. So maybe the trend would, obviously there's more shallow earthquakes or less deep earthquakes in areas where there's mountain ranges under the sea. But
well, I think what it looks like to me is the shallower ones are following pretty close to the Ring of Fire. So where the mountains are, where they're peaking, whereas the other ones are kind of deeper into the sea.
Okay, do you want me to type that?
Sure. So, and don't hate me for this one. I just barely started recording this thing like 2 minutes ago. I forgot to hit record, but I'm sure you get the gist on this. We already have.
I think
it's probably good to have all that.
I would just email him, or we can all email him, just let him know that we just forgot to start recording, but we've been at it for a little bit. Okay. So then we have what trends how do you explain those trends? So I guess what we talked about a little bit, how there's probably mountainous ranges underneath like around what would you expect to see if you went further inland? Let's see what we see here. Well, further inland, I mean, obviously what we see here is there's definitely not as many earthquakes, any earthquakes inland, which that would make sense because these lines here, I'm pretty sure represent the tectonic plates when they're moving. Obviously, that's going to create earthquakes.
If you guys are not satisfied with any of the wording here or my grammar or something, feel free to go in and change it. I'm not offended at all. Please, so that we can get a better grade.
First answer is just sorry, I just put the questions. I just pasted them on there. Is your first answer just answering what trends you notice in the data, or is it how do you explain those trends as well?
Oh, that's kind of both of them, huh?
I don't know. I'm just. It could be, or.
No, I think that this is more just what the trend, because we haven't explained like why we think that might be. Well, kind of it does.
Well, I was just making sure you weren't explaining. That's okay. I was just making sure we're on the same page. That's fine.
I don't know how much more I can explain than that. Hold on. No, if we think about, let's see.
I can combine them a little bit.
Do we want to do that, or does somebody else, Colin or Irisema, do you guys know in what ways we can explain that better or more in detail?
Are you talking about the second question?
Yeah, because we feel like the first question that we have here kind of answers both, but do we need to go into more detail?
What trends do you notice about the data? That's weird.
It's like Irishim is trying to talk. I just can't. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
So I guess we can say, so how do you explain those trends? Like the areas of Guam tend to have more mountainous ranges underneath, whereas if you go more towards the Sea of Japan, they're just lacking more mountainous ranges, I guess.
Do you want to type that under question number?
Yeah, I can get that. So. Okay.
Okay. So what would you expect to see if you went further inland? It's kind of, I feel like they're all a little bit the same. Now that we're doing the assignment, the questions seem simpler than I thought. Inland meaning just toward Japan, I assume?
well,
Toward land?
yeah.
They're not going to go in the other direction, right? The other direction is just basically sea for a while.
I think like past like Okinawa and Japan, like where the water is really shallow. I think that's what like mainland. I think that's what.
Not the islands, but there. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What would you expect to see further inland?
So what would we expect to see if we went further inland? Well, we can just see based on the trends here.
Wouldn't you just see the depth, like it's shallower earthquakes? Like, am I wrong there?
No, because if you look along here, you see a lot of there. You know, we since we saw here in the trends that we explained, I think you're absolutely right. So the depth of the earthquakes would decrease because obviously if the ocean floor is higher, then they won't be as deep. It just kind of
Okay.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Look how cute.
Sorry, that's my friend.
It's just fine.
What would you expect to see if you did the same thing along the trench near the Solomon Island? Well, along the Solomon Islands, we can see let's see what the Solomon Islands look like.
Yeah, let me see one.
What about the Himalayan
Islands?
Oh yeah, Solomon Islands are pretty much the Guam a little bit, but I mean they don't have like deep. They have pretty shallow earthquakes. Definitely not like the Sea of Japan, or they're kind of like Guam a little bit, where it's yellow. It's about 33 to 70 kilometers. And what the Himalayan? Which I think it's Himalayan. Himalayan mountains. Himalayas. All right, and then the Himalayas. Oh wow! And they have even shallower. They have even shallower earthquakes. So Solomon Islands are pretty much like kind of like what we see like in the Mariana Trench, but still pretty shallow. And then the Himalayan mountain range are they're really shallow actually. They're all orange. Like there's not even like a single. Well, I mean, I guess southwest or southeast, but oh, did we lose somebody?
Yeah, we lost Michelle.
Oh, okay.
It's all right. We pretty much finished.
Yeah, we're about wrapping up. Oh,
I feel bad because I didn't help at all, so you guys don't have to give me a good grade.
You don't need to feel bad. It's sometimes it's not your fault. I mean, it's just the technology stuff. It's just your phones or your computer's messing up somehow. It's kind of frustrating.
yeah.
But don't worry about it. You did your best. I mean, you were here. At least you showed up. 2 of our members didn't show
Yeah.
up today.
2 others didn't. I don't know. They might have said something. I haven't read the text messages, so.
Well, pretty simple explanations, but you can go ahead and tweak those if you want.
I'll take a look at it. Tomorrow, resolution. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I guess we can. I guess we can.
Okay. Anything else we want to add?
I think that's pretty much it. We answered everything. Yeah, I mean, I think we answered everything. Hopefully, we get like an A this time.
Yeah.
No, it is a C, but okay, cool. Well, yeah, I think we're all set.
Okay.
I'll
go
ahead.
For Irishma, I'll just I'll send it on the group text, the link to this to both things. I'll send a link on both things on the text messages, so that way it just goes through all channels. So
Sweet.
yeah.
Alrighty. Awesome. Well, sweet. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see ya.